Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to everyone. I just want to say welcome to DJ Real Talk in the Raw. It is June 1st. Wow, the year is going quickly, isn't it? Quickly. But today we have some interesting topics today. Of course, they are about the orange guy, the guy that is sitting in our White House, the People's House. And I just want to talk about a few things because we have to be reminded before the midterms of what condition our country is in and why we are in the condition that we are facing right now. And many Americans are not happy, are not happy. And for just reasons, for just reasons. But before we get started, I would like for you to like and subscribe my YouTube page. So if you go to YouTube, like and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. It is free to you. I pay for it, but it's free to you. And I'm trying to build my YouTube audience in regards to the podcast. So if you would, please, ma'am and sir, those of you that are on Facebook, would go like and subscribe on my YouTube page, that is DJ Real Talking the Raw. I will greatly appreciate it. On Facebook, you guys are doing fantastic as far as the viewership. Thank you so much for watching me share this information with you. I just believe that we need to make sure that everyone is abreast honestly on what's going on in our country and other countries that have been affected by this administration. There's so many other podcasts that I love. I watch them as well, and they're doing a fantastic job assimilating information to the American people that we can make wise decisions on what's going on in and around us in this country because we are facing this person that, well, number one, he's a 34 count convicted felon sitting in the people's house, which every day I I try to wrap my brain around how a criminal can actually be sitting in the most powerful office in the world. And he's using it to his advantage, or he's trying to. And I believe now that the people are speaking loud and clear. Votes are being cast, basically letting this Republican regime know that we are sick and tired of whatever agenda, which is Project 2025, that they have and have unleashed on the American people. So let's just talk about some of this right now. You know, a lot of this breaking news that's going on. Well, we know that January 6th, there was a breach of our Capitol. You must be reminded. You must be reminded where they breached the grounds and entered a building without permission. And they had an agenda because, as you recall, they were trying to stop the certification of the election that was to certify President Joe Biden as the winner. And the orange guy sent his posse, his gang, to interrupt all of that. And they did a lot of damage to the Capitol, as you know, a lot of harm to American people, to our law enforcement, trying to prevent this from happening while he laid awake in the far distance, watching as they were desecrating this building. And President Biden was certified as the winner, and he took office, as he should have, as commander-in-chief of these United States of America. And in doing so, they set out, as we know, to prosecute all of those criminals that the orange guy, good morning, Michelle, called peaceful citizens protesting a rigged and stolen election. Got to set it up, because so often folk forget, LaDonna, what has transpired and why we are here today. I'm going to remind y'all why we are here today. And they, with great success, were able to identify these criminals, and they were tried and convicted and placed in jail, prison, where they belong, right? Well, for whatever reason, the American people, I don't know, decided this past election, the American people, along with the steal from the Muskie man and his team, I still believe the election was stolen. I do. But y'all, some of y'all decided y'all wanted that criminal, the 34 count convicted felon, to sit in the people's house. So, along with thievery, y'all put the man there. You didn't believe in Project 2025. You didn't want a person to run the country that was a prosecutor of criminals. You wanted a criminal in the people's house. And so, along with the Muskie man and all of you, y'all made that happen. And so this man, this orange piece of crap, is sitting in the people's house built by the hands of slaves, those folks that he's always, ridiculing and tearing down and maligning our culture and who we are and what we stand for, all of that. He has nothing good to say at all about people of color, yet alone other ethnicities. But he's in the people's house. And this man every day, and his imps, which are the Republican Party in our House of Representatives and in the Senate, are doing his bidding. And this man has done nothing at all, but caused chaos since he has been back in the White House. Well, other than causing chaos, making money for himself and his family and all of his cronies. And so, where we're at now, he decided that he was going to sue this country because he felt he was wrongly, I guess, convicted. And he felt that folk were after him and attacking him for unjust cause. And so he decided he was going to sue the country. This orange man sitting in the most powerful seat in the world, he's going to sue the country. And then all of a sudden he decided, well, I guess I won't sue. I'll drop that So was it really about suing the country? Follow me. I'll drop that. What I'll take instead is $1.8 billion that I can pay restitution to all of those peaceful protesters that were wronged and wrongly imprisoned by the Biden administration, and anyone else that felt that they were harmed by this administration. We're going to pay y'all restitution. Really? Black folk have been harmed since y'all brought us over here in chains. Let's clarify one thing. This country that we live in, we're all immigrants. If you're not a Native American, you are an immigrant. This was not your country. Was not. Now, what happened is white men came and stole it from the Native Americans. And then they claimed this country and that Columbus discovered America. We all know in history books that's a lie. Okay? And so now that all of these people is like a melting pot here in this country of immigrants, because the real citizens are Native Americans, but you cut out a little piece of land and told them, y'all stay over there and don't you move. Wow. The only people that you dragged over here went to another country, good morning, Gil, and put them in chains and dragged them over here are folks that look like me. Yeah, you dragged them over here because you needed somebody to work. Yeah, the folks that you call lazy, y'all needed them to work because y'all didn't want to work. I think, let's see, who was lazy? Because this country was built on the backs of people of color. How lazy are they if they built this country? Yeah, y'all went because y'all needed some help. Because y'all didn't want to get your hands dirty. So you brought the people over here in chains. So once we arrived, our ancestors, that is, they were immigrants. Just like the white folk that stole this country, you were immigrants. So anyone that came here after the Native Americans were living here, you are an immigrant. So it gets on my last nerve when I'm always hearing about immigration and send the immigrants back and they're trying to take our country. You stole it. Let's clear that up first. You stole it. I just had to say it because y'all won't tell your children that y'all stole it, that Native Americans were really the Americans in this country. Y'all stole it. And every day, y'all like to steal. This new administration, for, his second term, that he was able to steal and get back into the people's house. Every day he's stealing. He and his cronies. Everything's about them. So what he decided to drop his lawsuit, guys, and he would actually just ask for $1.8 billion to pay restitution to all the folk that were wronged. Well, maybe y'all need to be splitting that money up for people of color. What y'all think? The folk that have been wronged since you brought them here. Yeah. And you still wrong them, even today. It's amazing how criminals you want to pay restitution to because they were wrongly convicted and mistreated. But people of color that you have mistreated for many years, you don't feel we need anything. Because we were I think in the Constitution, we are still less than human, right? That's still in the Constitution of these United States. How sick. But anyway, so this man was glad and happy, and all of his warriors, those that fought for him, that breached the grounds of the Capitol, out there climbing walls and breaking out windows and barricading, trying to break through barricades and all of that. These folk are happy when they were just clapping. Oh, we gonna get some money. We gonna get some money. Because he promised them some money. Y'all know that, right? I'm gonna take care of y'all. Y'all just do this. And them idiots did it. Well, then this man gets in office, and gosh, the office that they stole, and he pardons all of these criminals, these insurrectionists that they call peaceful protesters. Yeah, the Proud Boys, all of these folks, the little, what they call them, skinheads, and I don't know, all the different names for all those different organizations that are racist, bigots, and all of that. Well, he pardoned them. It is amazing how the Republican Party thinks nothing of it. And some of you Americans think nothing of him pardoning these criminals. But I could name a few people that, were found not guilty and y'all had issues with the verdict. I can name a few people that were behind bars that were released and you guys had some issues because they look different. Yeah, skin color was a little different. And y'all were so outraged and everything about these criminals. But this 34 count convicted felon, y'all cheer as if he were a king. Amazing. Amazing. And so, well, the good thing is, it's always nice when people stand up for the right cause, justice. Our money. We are in a country right now under this orange piece of crap's leadership, where every day American people are trying to make ends meet when we were under a thriving economy under the Biden-Harris administration, not facing any of what we are facing today. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. But they have stripped funding from so many organizations that were helping the little people here in America. You didn't need it, they said. Why? And they have taken funding, millions, billions of dollars away from organizations that needed this funding to help the American people. But now they are channeling billions and millions of dollars to their friends, to their family. And they don't care about health care, daycare, housing, education, global warming, all of these things that are quite important to this country, they don't care about at all. So they decided they were going to take the taxpayers' money and pay themselves. And every day they're giving themselves contracts. And so one good thing out of this that we are so happy about, and that is the federal judge that temporarily blocked the Trump administration $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund created as of unprecedented settlement with the president, his family, and the Trump organization. Remember, he was suing, at first, and then he decided, well, I dropped that suit. I dropped that suit. I think this is what he wanted here, this $1.8 million. And so the judges have wised up and they realized this was a scheme to get and to steal money from the American people, the taxpayers, so that he could reward these criminals and all of his friends and family. When he make an application, he would approve it. Really. So the judge has blocked it. It says the Trump administration cannot take any further action on the funds while legal motions are pending, which includes transfer of money to the fund, the consideration of any claims submitted to the fund, and the disbursement of any funds from the fund according to this order. That means can't no money go anywhere. You can't touch no money. It can't leave anywhere. Not at all. The judge said the order was necessary to ensure that no funds are irreversibly dispersed from the anti-weaponization fund while they are monitoring every motion pending to block the distribution of funds. And she set a hearing for June 12th. So they're going to talk about it. So taxpayers, y'all need, those of us that are believers, you need to pray that this judge continues to do the right thing. And that is to stop them from getting our money. They won't give us money for anything. Health care, nothing. They don't care about your health. They don't care about your kids' education. They don't care if you eat. They don't care about housing. They don't care about anything when it comes to the American people. They just care about themselves, enriching themselves. Well, with our money, it's amazing. They don't want to give us any of our own tax dollars. But every day they're thinking of ways that they can get their hands on it. So I want to say kudos to this judge that did that. And in the meantime, I want to say kudos to these states that have these governors that decided that the first one was Governor Gavin Newsom. He announced that California would impose a 100% tax on any payout in their state to residents to receive from the Trump administration out of that 1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund. The governor, his press office condemned the federal initiative created to settle Trump's lawsuit against the IRS as a January 6th slush fund. So what they said, hypothetically, if these folk got their hands on this money, they're going to tax them 100% and take it all back. Kudos to you, Governor Newsom, for coming up with that. Also, in Wisconsin, they also introduced a no taxpayer dollar for Insurrectionist Act, a bill that would apply a 100% state tax on any payout of this representation fund from the Trump administration in regards to that $1.8 billion. I think there was another, I can't think of who it was, that also enacted the same, I guess you would call it a bill, a law, that they could not benefit from this slush fund. Criminals that were lawfully convicted in prison for breaching the Capitol building, for causing the damage to the building, for causing harm to people, for some folk even died, and for attempted murder. Because they said, hang Pence. He was, by the way, he was a Republican. He was the Orange Man's vice president, and they was yelling, hang Pence. Ain't that something? Yeah, because he wouldn't, well, that was about the only thing he didn't do was certify was not to not certify the election, and he certified it because President Biden was the winner of it. So, listen, every day we're seeing our tax dollars, our money being given to his family, his associates, and all of his cronies. Taxpayer money. And I just don't get it. I'll never understand the American people. For the most part, some of you are waking up and understanding. But I watched a clip of some people saying they wanted him, the Proud Boys, all of them, these little skinheads. They wanted this man to be the king, that he could rule this country. And they would never have to worry about anything else because then he could do as he pleased. I watched that clip. These ignorant pieces of trash. And I sat there and I'm like, you could look at them, they don't have nothing. Just a piece of trash. Nothing. But yet, they want to serve this. I just have no words. I have no words. And they want him to be the king. The king. And those of us that are believers know there's only one king. And he went to Calvary. But this man, every time you look up, golden images, it just, you just get sick. This man wants his face on our money. The $250 bill. He wants Treasury to put his face on it. A 34-count convicted felon wants his face on the money. In God we trust. What's wrong? I gotta ask the question. How did we get here? What part did you play in it that got our country to the point that we're in today? This man every day is talking about countries, Cuba, Iran, Venezuela, all these different countries that they feel that have folk in charge where there's no democracy. What does America look like today? Somebody tell me. We don't look that much different from those other countries, do we? No, we don't. You have someone in office that is dictating, and he has folk that are following his orders that should be working on the behalf of the American people. So are we really in a democracy? That's why the midterms is quite important. They're afraid of the midterms. They even say it. If the Democrats take the House, they say the Trump administration is done with. That's the point. That's the point. Do y'all get it? Those of us that are real Americans, we want a democracy, not a dictatorship. So in November, that's what we're going to be voting for, a democracy. And your God, your king. No, because we don't serve him at all. No, we don't. And so there is a fund. They call it, well, there's a board also, official board of peace. It's a peace fund, and it's created by the War Bank for post-war Gaza reconstruction, for Gaza. And donors have pledged billions of dollars. And instead of using the transparent War Bank account, donors have routed contributions, listen, into a separate JP Morgan account controlled directly by the board. Whose board? The Orange Man's board. So Trump's Board of Peace Fund, since empty 4 months after it was launched. Not one dime of all that money is in that fund. Zero. Where is the money? These are questions that the American people need to be asking themselves when it comes to misuse of funds. Where's the money? It's not in the account. It's been redirected. Why? I was telling you about these statues that this orange man, I think was it a preacher made a gold statue of this man, a preacher. I think he was a black preacher, made a gold statue of that orange piece of crap. Yeah. I thought to myself, what? So we know he's not a real man of God, because we don't believe in erecting golden images, do we? No, we don't, you dummy. And he's African American. Yeah, sure is. And he did it. It's amazing. That man don't even like you, you big dummy. Listen, so now this man, these horses, he's want these bronze, gold horses. Yeah. and he awarded a $5 million contract. $5 million. It's amazing how all our money goes to do things for this man, not to help the people. $5 million for some gold horses. Yes. And so he's awarded this money. Yeah. And he wants it to be 23.75 karat gold leaf. That's how thick he wants it to be. That's $5 million. $5 million. But I don't hear nobody crying about that money. But to feed the children, you crying. To educate the children, you fussing. To provide health care for Americans, you're complaining. To help in education, that some can further their academics, you're crying our tax dollars. To subsidize folks' rent, utilities, you're complaining our tax dollars. But I don't hear nobody complain about $5 million for some gold horses. 1.8 million from some convicted felons. His family getting billion-dollar contracts. His friends' contracts. Taxpayer money that you don't get to benefit, but you pay it, middle-class people. But for some of you, that seems to be okay. It's not okay when you steal from taxpayers. And every day, they're playing with the stock market, up and down. You know the man's a liar. So I don't even understand Wall Street playing with the stock market. Up, he say one thing, y'all, that you think is good. It goes up. Then something bad, it goes down. Insider trading. Where they're getting rich off of the misfortune of the American people. They're getting richer. It's amazing. Not all rich people, but the majority of them. They look out for themselves. I watched a hearing on yesterday, and I heard this senator, white one, say, y'all mad because I'm a billionaire and y'all don't want me to make any money? Those were his words. Why? Because one of his colleagues was saying that senators, all of them, should not be able to benefit and trade stock because they know they get the information firsthand that the American people don't get. And then they act on it and make millions and billions of dollars off of our misfortune. And he said to them, so we don't have a right to make any money? How dumb was that? Insider trading, inside information that you are privileged to, that no one else knows. And you take advantage of it. And you enrich yourself. But you don't want the American people to have anything. Because minimum wage, what is minimum wage? Folk can't even have a decent wage, living wage. But this man, who is in the people's house, is just giving millions and billions of dollars to his family and friends. And then he was like, we don't, my family, we can't be investigated. The IRS, they can't investigate us and ask us about our money, how we got it and where it came from. Really? I've never heard anything of that nature. And you got some people clapping, saying, yeah, you big dummies. I'm trying to remind you guys, because midterms is coming. You have a voice because you have a vote. And it's time to vote people. When folk don't work, they don't have a job. This Republican Party has not worked for you. They get a paycheck for doing exactly nothing. And a lot of you don't seem to care. You Republicans, you just don't seem to care. But you care about folk that are less fortunate receiving one dime. They're lazy. They don't want to work. They don't want to this. They don't want to that. Always some excuse. But you say nothing when the rich steal from you. Okay, another thing that we're happy about is a federal judge, Christopher Cooper, blocked the Trump administration from renaming the Kennedy Center. Number one, how are you around there just trying to put your name? You understand what in the world? And we know that the Congress are the only one that can bring about a name change. Well, this judge blocked this idiot. And he's got 14 days to take his name down and any other information that attaches his name to the Kennedy Center. I want to say kudos to you, Judge Christopher Cooper. It's time for folk that have the authority, know the law, and are put in office to protect this country and the people in which live here to do their jobs. And these judges are doing their jobs. So his name is coming off of the Kennedy Center. Yeah, sure is. No renovations. They can't do, his board that he appointed. Yeah. Now he said, I'm going to turn all of that over to the Congress. It belonged to Congress in the first place, you dummy. This is DJ Real Talk in the Raw. Got it? Yeah. I'm saved. Yeah. Got the Holy Ghost, all of that. And they said, why he talking like that? Because it's called DJ Real Talk in the Raw. Got it? I don't think I used any cuss words, did I? So even any renovation to this iconic building, they can't do any of that. So I just wanted to remind the American people of some things that we cannot forget. Why our country is in the condition that it is today. Bad choices. Bad choices. When you went to the poll, bad choices. Those of you that voted for that 34-count convicted felon. And he's showing you, he's thanking you because he's making a whole lot of money. He, his family, his friends, and he thought his posse, those insurrectionists, that he was going to pay them with taxpayers' money. The midterms is in November. It behooves all of us that want to live in a democracy where there are three branches of government, check and balance. And we don't believe in kings, any of that. It is time for you as believers, and those of you that are non-believers, but want what's best for a country, to get to the polls and vote those Republicans out. They haven't done their job. They don't intend to do it, but they collect a check. Could you collect a check and not do your job? No. They fire you. Well, you have the opportunity in November to fire them. Okay? So until Wednesday at 8 o'clock a.m., this is DJ Real Talk in the Raw, trying to bring and keep you abreast of things that are going on. Everyone don't watch the news. They say it's depressing, but you got to know what's going on in order to prevent it. So, DJ is going to remind you real talk in the raw, no sugarcoat. We're just going to say what it is. And it's time for that crony, that orange piece of crap to have some restraints. And in November, that can happen. They tell you every time you look on social media, if they get the House, it's over for us. That is the point. So, listen, I want you all to have a fantastic day on today. Enjoy your day. It's a good day. Why? Because we woke up this morning. So listen, before you leave your homes today, plead the blood of Jesus over your house, family, friends, loved ones, neighbors, and enemies, even your frenemies. God's protective blood, that he will go with you and keep you safe from all hurt, harm, and danger. Never forget these three mantras. Listen, listen, listen. My brother, the short guy, Minister Antonio Thickpen, says to go and be great. My God brother, the one and only Jesse Campbell, the voice himself, tells us to love and light. And I remind us every day that when you were created in the womb of your mother, guess what? He gave you an assignment. It's attached to your life. Yes, a purpose and an assignment. You're not here by chance. There's a purpose and an assignment attached to every individual's life. You need to walk in your purpose and fulfill the God-given assignment that has been attached to your life. Your assignments are people. All three mantras lead to kingdom building. At the end of the day, it is kingdom building. The Word of God says, watch as well as pray. Listen, it is praying time. But never forget, faith without works is dead. We must do our part. How do we deal with carjackers? I'll tell you what you do, because they are real. You keep your doors locked and your windows up. And if them suckers walk up to your car and they're trying to invite themselves in, what you do is put your foot on the gas pedal and you press it to the floor and you drag them suckers until they let go. I said it and I mean it. And listen, my brother, Troy Taylor Jr., he says, bro, you just can't leave them there. I said, what? He says, you got to tell the people to call 911. So I'm going to tell you what Troy Taylor Jr. told me. You must call 911. And I'm going to add this part. so they can come and pick up the trash. I said it. This is DJ Real Talk in the Raw. Don't forget to go to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube page, DJ Real Talk in the Raw. I would greatly appreciate it. Have a fantastic day. Until Wednesday at 8 o'clock a.m. See ya.